In this video, we're going to dive into the concept of DeFi governance. We're going to take a look at governance in detail and take a look at some of the most popular governance tokens out there. So if you ever wondered what exactly governance is and why people care, stay tuned for this video. Before we dive in, remember guys, I am not a financial advisor, nor should you be listening to a random guy on the internet. So do your own due diligence before doing any investment decision. So let's dive in. If you're used to centralized exchanges like Coinbase and Binance, then you know there are a lot of VIPs that run the business. But if you're scratching your head about decentralized finance like Uni Swap and 1inch Exchange, then you might be wondering, how the heck do these exchanges run? In short, these decentralized non-custodial governance protocols function using the term of governance. The idea of DeFi governance revolves around actual people who usually own governance tokens being able to make votes and crucial decisions about a decentralized environment. Such changes can include governance framework changes, directions in the roadmap, or some crucial changes to the actual protocol. Now, the people that get the most say in what changes can happen in a decentralized exchange are usually people who own governance tokens. And of course, the more governance tokens you own, the more power you have when it comes to making the vote. If it helps, you can think about governance tokens like shares of a company. The more shares you have, the greater your weight and the more control over the decisions that happens on a certain protocol. For example, if we head on over to our favorite ecosystem on the Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap, they have a voting tab where you can have your say in the future of the PancakeSwap ecosystem. And of course, with great power comes great responsibility, so every vote that you make should be very carefully considered. Now, we can take a look at the proposals down here. They have one core proposal going on right now, and that is a proposal for adjustments to farm rewards that ends on October 4th. If you click on the community tab, we also have a lot of proposals by community members. Some proposals are actually quite funny, like use of celebrities for promotion of platform. One even says, "Hi cake." And here's even another proposal to have cake pets. So now let's actually go back to the core proposal and see what's going on. We can click on the button right here that says vote now. Now when we see the proposal for adjustments to farm rewards, we can see there is a detailed explanation of what the proposal means. You can also see on the right hand side the current results. As you can see, there are over 4 million votes. 98.36% of the votes say yes, while only 1.64% say no. You can even vote yourself by connecting your own wallet and saying yes or no. Now you may be wondering, what exactly do these votes mean and how do these votes get decided? Well, you see, these votes are decided based on the address. And if your address holds more cake tokens, you get more weightage in your votes. As you can see, the top votes right here casted out of 1,694 addresses. Most of them say yes. In fact, all of them say yes right here. You just have to click on the button see all to actually see any more votes. And yeah, we have a couple no's down here, but a majority of them up top say yes. Now, the thing about these votes is the more cake tokens you have, the more power. So, of course, this guy right here with over 1.7 million cakes. Now, that's quite a lot. That's worth tens of millions of dollars. But this guy has the highest power when it comes to his vote. And you can see the numbers are going down, decreasing the amount of cake tokens per these addresses. And you don't have to have a lot of cake tokens to actually vote. In fact, we have some people down all the way on this list who have very, very few. Like here we have 10 cake tokens. And even if you have like 0.57 or even 0 cake tokens, you can still make a vote. However, your vote is not really going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Now, this is one way governance does work. The more shares or cake governance tokens you have on the PancakeSwap system, the more power your vote has. You can see where this can actually go wrong because a lot of people have to make their own votes to actually overtake these big whales up top. Now, there was one scandal actually said by Yahoo Finance on April 19 of 2021. PancakeSwap DeFi governance manipulated by single whale votes. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same guy who did this, but let's actually read into the article. The article says, in a tweet on April 19th, the Binance Smart Chain powered PancakeSwap decentralized exchange stated that a governance proposal vote failed at the hands of one whale. The proposal was for another yield farm for a token from Chain Guardians and the Polkadot social network token mix. The PancakeSwap team acknowledged the untoward action and suggested different incentives for voting. They said, "We will speak with the team about reproposing with different incentives. This shows the importance of making sure you vote each time. Don't rely on others." Now, what this whale did specifically is that the whale address pledged over 94,500 votes using cake tokens. This made it the single largest voter, claiming a majority of 65% against the proposal. Every other address in the election voted for the creation of the new liquidity farm. However, between them, they did not have enough to overpower the single whale. So herein lies the irony of decentralized governance. On one hand, you have a centralized system like Binance and Coinbase where everything is run by a specific group of people. You have DeFi governance tokens, which allows you or the community to vote on different proposals, but they're also controlled usually by whales who are a specific group of people, and it's very, very difficult to overpower them, especially if they hold millions of tokens and you only have like 10 of them. Now, is governance really a bad thing? I don't think so, because without governance, you lose a lot of the utility of a token. After all, why would people buy tokens if there's no purpose for them? With governance, a user has an incentive to actually keep the token instead of dumping it into the market and making the value go to basically nothing. Now, with our example of PancakeSwap, it's not entirely decentralized. PancakeSwap does have a core team that develops the application, and they make their own changes without the user's permission. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing because they can make really good decisions if there's a good team behind it. Now, also, people, of course, voters are not actually the smartest people. Even though you have a million PancakeSwap tokens, it doesn't mean you're actually going to get stuff done or develop any new changes to the system. What we just described is called a partially decentralized governance, in which a handful of developers retain crucial voting rights while also proposing different changes to the system. Besides centralized governance, we also have completely decentralized governance, in which a platform is run completely according to its token holders' wills. Token holders' votes are executed directly via the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or DAO. With a completely decentralized voting right with a governance token, you can also show off your power with key funding governance areas. Key funding governance areas include the funding source, or where funds come from, such as mining operations. You can also decide on the funding amount, such as how much funds are collected from a given project. For example, via consensus, you may decide that 20% of all the funds collected would be dedicated to the next upgrade, which is actually quite a lot. You can also decide who the funds go to for collection and spending, and how actually the funds are collected, stored, and processed and reported monthly, quarterly, or annually. You can think of DeFi governance like sitting on the driver's seat of a new car, provided you actually invest, of course. Now, to sum things up and take a little bit of a deeper dive, there are 5 parts of the DeFi governance process. It's not as simple as holding the tokens, because there is a more difficult process that each proposal needs to go through before it's actually passed. It all first starts at the discussion stage. You, as a stakeholder, gauge the community for whatever DeFi platform you represent. Now, the need for potential changes is recognized. You need to change something in a project, for example, and people discuss through informal communication channels such as on Telegram or Discord. Now, the goal of each change and for discussion is to improve the platform, of course, or fix any problems that are presented. Usually, the discussions are fairly straightforward. However, sometimes a degree of politics may be involved, just like anything else. The next step we have is the proposal stage. At this stage, you submit your ideas to the developers, who give you a general idea of how viable your proposal is. For example, if you wanted to completely rehaul Uni Swap and then go to different chains, every single chain, Phantom Avalanche, everything, the developers might actually look at you and say you're kind of crazy, because that's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and maybe they don't have the manpower for it. However, if your proposal is to do something more straightforward and more simple, the developers might actually say it's quite possible, and then the proposal might actually go. Now, the third stage is the quorum stage. A minimum number of token holders are actually needed to be present to pass the vote. Let's say you're the only one who proposes the vote and you're the only guy that actually shows up. It's probably not likely that the vote is going to be passed, even though 100% of all the votes, i.e. you, is present. The fourth stage is voting. Like we saw in PancakeSwap, you can submit your votes on the chain. As we saw earlier, usually governance protocols suggest one token, it means one vote. So the more tokens a person has, the more votes they have. Be careful when submitting your vote though, because as everything is on the blockchain, once it's submitted, there's usually no going back. And the last stage, if the voting process goes through, everyone says yes, then you're golden. The final step is the implementation. The decentralized governance process is complete once the change has been implemented, regardless of whether it has bugs or not. You, as the token holder and the person with the governance power, your duty is done. But the bugs aren't your concern, that's for later. Now here are some examples of some DeFi governance tokens that you may have heard of besides the PancakeSwap token. We have MakerDAO. MakerDAO were among the first DeFi governance tokens ever. It used Ethereum blockchain as its base, offering the stablecoin DAI as loans against collateral. Now the tokens have become so popular because of the governance it offered over the stablecoin DAI. Now you can see why the Maker token is so popular, because DAI is one of the most popular stablecoins. And with that power, you can decide on many different things that DAI can do in the future, its implementations, what coins are made of to make DAI, and much, much more. We also have Uni Swap. Uni Swap is definitely a governance token that entered the market at just $2. Since launch in September 2020, the token has over 10x, and it's safe to say that it's one of the most popular ones you'll ever find. Now, over time, the decisions holders made helped the token grow Uniswap, improving it for the better. You can even stake your Uniswap tokens, earning extra interest. You even get a benefit because Uniswap allots 60% of its rewards to the community and is in a very good position to continue offering more tokens as rewards to its holders for many years to come. Other governance tokens include Chainlink, Compound, Aave, Kyber Network, and Curve. So if you ever get your hands on some governance tokens, remember, you have the power to change the DeFi platform. This is a very powerful tool that you can use to do whatever you want. And as we pave the way towards DeFi becoming more mainstream, DeFi governance remains a powerful tool to decide exactly what changes are being made. So let's make sure every change we make is for the better. As always, guys, if you have any questions, join us on our Telegram group. I'll leave a link in the description below. And as always, guys, stay safe in the DeFi space and have an amazing day.